Thank you for being here at Mr. Super Oz. This video is going out, and this channel only exists because I, Oz, founded Gamble Comics, which first release was Everlasting Survivors, a 68-page graphic novel called All Day Long. Available now. Follow the link in the description that will take you to gamblecomics.com. While there, you can get hats, shirts, posters, much more, but most importantly, the story itself. Coming soon from Gamble Comics, BC Brute. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom released in 2023 and ran 2 hours 5 minutes. We open quick and it looks good. Aquaman rides in on a seahorse and is ready to take out pirates. This is Arthur retelling a story to, I assume, his son. Yep, I was right, Arthur Jr. This open reminds me so much of Aquaman in Batman, the Brave and the Bold. Orm is locked up. Arthur is bored as king of Atlantis. I'm not a fan of the Arthur Jr. peeing in Arthur's mouth, but I hear that is a thing that can happen. Arthur's dad is such a good man. Arthur Jr. can talk to fish just like his dad. We see Black Manta. Is he working with the government? Because scientists are searching for, I think, Atlantis, but maybe not. Fell through ice. One of the scientists gets taken by a tentacle of, I assume, a sea creature, but it seems almost alien-like. Black Manta and the scientist that wasn't attacked and a whole crew follow the tracks back to an area the scientists believe to be thousands of years old. More red shirt-style crew members get taken out of the Manta crew. Black Manta finds a weapon that is offering him power. This thing is speaking to Manta through a dark trident. We jump 5 months into the future. Mira wakes Arthur, who was napping with Arthur Jr. The Council of Atlantis is very pretty. Aquaman believes it is time for Atlantis to be revealed to the surface world. This council is pretty stupid and so very backward. Arthur and his dad share a moment, and this makes me worry. Black Manta might be around the corner, but we see Manta and crew are attacking Atlantis, not the lighthouse where Arthur and his dad are, so that's good. Interestingly, the thing I thought was a sea creature was actually like an octopus robot, but ancient weapon, I think. Thanks to dialogue, I am informed that the Octobot is an ancient weapon. The bots need a special fuel that is in Atlantis. A 3-man team, Manta and 2 no-names, are breaking into Atlantis, a storage vault for this special fuel. Black Manta and team have been detected. The Stingray, Black Manta's ship, is ready to attack Atlantis. This undersea ship fight feels like a Starfleet in space fight. Very tactical, very foreign. Mira and Arthur's mother riding robot sharks reminds me of that Star Wars speeder fight. Yeah, this film, it's just, it keeps calling out hits. Like, I always knew with the success of Marvel's Thor that Aquaman could work, but I should have had the sea/space correlation before. It is so clear that just treating Atlantis like a foreign planet, like a Star Wars or Star Trek, could have worked, because that's what they're doing here. I've always been a big fan of the Mira character. I would have been okay with her being recast, especially if it was Teresa Palmer rather than remaining Amber Heard, because I think she does great work, especially in I Am Number Four and other things too. Take Me Home Tonight, but it is what it is. It looks like Black Manta may kill Mira, but nope, Arthur protects her. Manta has a great line. First, you steal your brother's kingdom, then you take his woman. That was smart. I'm sort of surprised Arthur is so willing to keep protecting Atlantis when they are so ready to take out the surface world. Those stupid Atlanteans now want to take Arthur off of the throne. Mira is seemingly on death's door after the big attack from Black Manta. He had a technology that very much incapacitates her. Mira's dad and Arthur's mom explain how/why Manta is overheating the world with that special fuel and why it was locked away in a vault because the Atlanteans knew it was dangerous. Arthur wants to bring Orm in on this mission to try and stop Black Manta. Arthur gets a new camo uniform and an octopus for his prison break. Wow. Orm is in real rough shape. This desert prison is real bad news. This prison break is money. Arthur calling Orm Castaway was funny. Not only did the sea fight remind me of both Star Trek and Star Wars, this desert prison makes me think of The Mummy, and all of those are very good things to be brought to mind because they're all top quality, interesting, fun, nostalgic things. One of the prison, I'm going to call them creatures, gets ridden up to the surface by Arthur, and it's so very creative by the team. I like the odd mouth auger that these things use to dig through the land. Orm going from castaway to made of muscle as soon as the water touches him was very cool. Arthur and Orm are so very Thor and Loki in the best possible way. So much so that I almost feel like it was a missed opportunity to not have Orm be the villain that brings the Justice League together as Atlantis is trying to take over the surface world, much like how Jeff Johns and Jim Lee did at the beginning of the New 52, because it just would have extra emphasized that nature of the brotherly relationship. Although I guess that could have been looked at very much as a ripoff of the Avengers, but I'm just saying I like them being at odds. Orm is right on top of it, questioning what happened to David Kane, the Black Manta, the man behind Black Manta. He said this isn't even the man that he knew. Orm says that Black Manta just put a gun to the world's head and pulled the trigger without making any demands. This movie feels like a classic late 80s, early 90s action comedy. The scientist wanting to leave the big bad and him welcoming his exit since outside it's not safe, so the scientist guy stays. Also, Orm takes Arthur to Kingfish, a very Jabba the Hutt type character that is underground and not underground, but in the sea, guarded by hammerhead shark dudes who are very entertained by King Shark, the ruler of the sunken citadel. I wish this film got a toy line. I'd have for sure gotten a Kingfish to go with my Suicide Squad King Shark. This film is it's cool and filled with character designs and locations that are beautiful. Arthur fools Orm into eating a live cockroach on an island called Devil's Deep, which reminds me of like the Land of the Lost. The cockroach was big, but this humongous grasshopper eating a rodent of unusual size. This Devil's Deep place, it's also cool. I wish I'd have watched this in theaters. A true king builds bridges is written on a statue, and so Arthur, being the big brute that he is, knocks over the statue, turning it into a bridge. Arthur punching the giant grasshopper was so much fun. David Kane, Black Manta, seems to be all gone with the spirit of this Lost Kingdom's king that is in the Dark Trident. So the scientist who lived in that original excursion is scared, and for good reason. Aquaman calling Orm Loki might be just a step too much for my taste. But Arthur and Orm bantering helps me get back into the film because it's fun. The scientist wanting to surrender is good, and Manta's crew not letting him is also very believable. The Octobots attacking Orm, that's some big time ouch. But Arthur saving his brother and his brother not liking how Aquaman is helping is very much fun. Part of me wonders, is Orm's arrogance going to get him killed? One punch from Manta and Orm goes down hard. Oh crap, Orm grabbed the Dark Trident and Manta blasts him. Thankfully, Dolph Lundgren shows up and with backup, saying, "Take that island down," which gives Arthur the chance to save his brother. With Atlantis taking out Manta's base, I assume this will lead to him going to the lighthouse. Yep, Manta got away, and Mir saves Arthur from getting buried as the island starts coming down. Awesome, not only is King Nereus, Dolph Lundgren's, here, but so is the Brine King, who is played by John Rhys Davies, or as I often think of him, Professor Maximilian Arturo. King Kardak is/was the brother of King Adelan. The two brothers went to war. I'm such a fan of this film. Orm explaining what caused all this is great until I figure out how Manta/King Kardak will get what they want by taking Arthur Jr. Dang it. David Kane did take Jr., just as I suspected he would, and has seemingly killed Arthur's dad. Arthur's mom explaining that black magic or blood magic is basically DNA is interesting. Atlantis is able to save Arthur's dad. That's something that I'm a big fan of. Will Arthur lose his hand while saving his son? I kind of hope he does, because that's a look that I can always get behind when it comes to Aquaman. Big fan of the Brine King, enjoying King Nereus not liking Orm. What released first, Aquaman 2 or Peacemaker, the TV show? I checked, and Peacemaker released in January of 2022, and Aquaman came out in December of 2023. So Peacemaker couldn't use what Black Manta has been doing as its reasoning to have the aliens say they came to stop the humans from overheating the planet. Man, this film is so well written. Arthur has whales make sonic sounds to disrupt Manta's team's sonic cannons. The Lost Kingdom's monster followers fight is a little bit like the trench fight from the first film, but then we see Orm is saving Mir's dad. That's good. Big fan of this film. Manta wanting the scientist to give him the child, but gets a bomb instead. I really like this scientist character. He also plays like a Fox Mulder type character in the Marvel TV show universe. It seems like it was for naught, since the bomb didn't stop Manta, and he now has Junior. Junior calls to Arthur with his telepathic ability. Big fight time, Manta versus Aquaman. In My Trident is Better Than Your Trident, the fight. Orm is going to be taken over by the evil dead king, who has now abandoned Black Manta. Orm makes Arthur bleed, leading to the big bad king being freed from his prison. Okay, Arthur trying to save his brother from corruption rocks. Please work together, Arthur and Orm. Let's be a team. Good job, Orm, in allowing Arthur to be the one to wield the Dark Trident. Another Trident versus Trident fight, only this time Arthur clearly wins. Arthur has grown so much in since the first film when he let David Kane's father die. Arthur wants to help save Black Manta, but he is smug. When Arthur gives him his hand, he refuses it. Orm and Arthur getting saved by the octopus and the seahorse are cool. The Brine King lost his claw, and Arthur got to keep his arm, which is, acceptable. This was really an over-the-top, spectacular 6 out of 5 stars. Breaking news, everyone. Everyone at the news station is acknowledging that the King of Atlantis is meeting with the United Nations. Way to go, Arthur, standing up for what you believe is the right thing to do. Orm gets his first hamburger and his first beer, and that was such a fun film.